Hey, what's up SRL fans, and welcome to the SRL League Season 5 preview video. Today we're gonna preview the Season 5 of SRL League Racing on F1 2019 that is gonna start in about 1 month. So yeah, let's just have a quick look at the driver lineups, starting off with Mercedes. Mercedes is starting their season with Vasilis Beretsiotis. The young Greek entered SRL last season as the best young prospect. He led up to the expectations during his rookie season by winning 6 races and the prestigious Indy 500 event last June, obviously. A lack of maturity and patience throughout the season, though, cost him a lot of valuable points that ultimately lost him the championship. But Beretsiotis is definitely looking to overcome these issues in his sophomore campaign. As he is older and more experienced now, speed shouldn't be an issue, and he can be considered a championship favorite. As his teammate, Fons van Hoyten is joining him. Van Hoyten started his rookie season last year by showing decent pace and scoring some good points. He suffered of a lack of race participations in the second half of the season, which cost him positions in the standings. His highlight came in Mexico when he took the lead in the early stages of the race and held on for it for a long time, actually. Van Hoyten is looking to build on what he has learned in his first season, especially with the setup help of teammate Beretsiotis. He will probably be considered a points contender. Moving on to Ferrari, they will keep that driver lineup that they had since season 1, with starting off with Sandro Doulis. The 9-time SRL race winner started last season off quite slow with many small incidents and inconsistency, but as the season moved on, Doulis got stronger and stronger and ultimately ended up fighting for wins on a weekly basis. He took victory at Singapore and Japan. And if it wasn't for bad luck, he could have also won Italy, France, and Mexico. Ultimately, it was P3 in the standings for him. If Doulis can get a decent start to the season and avoid bad luck, he can definitely be considered a championship contender. And his teammate, once again, is going to be Dion Stahl. In contrast to his teammate Stahl, started off his season very strong last year, in contrast to Sandro Doulis, scoring 3 top 5s in the first 4 races. Throughout the season, he showed some decent pace, but inconsistency and late silly mistakes cost him good results at Singapore and Japan, both races which were won by his teammate. He finished 7th in the final standings. And if Stahl and Doulis can step up the game in their teamwork, we can expect Stahl to improve next season and emerge into a consistent point scorer with many top 5 appearances. Moving on to Red Bull, they will keep their lineup as well, like last season, starting off with the Season 4 champion. SRL League Season 4 champion Nick van Gelder will enter this season with the goal to defend his title, obviously. The Dutchman himself said, "This will be very difficult with the great competition, but I will do my very best." With all his experience, consistency, and clean racecraft, Van Gelder has a good chance of claiming a 2nd championship in a row. He would be the first champion the first driver in SRL League history to do that. His teammate and real-life friend, Rui Marusic, is joining him as his teammate. The Dutchman's learning curve from his rookie season was steep, as he scored some valuable points and got a career best finish of 4th at Belgium. Marusic then unfortunately missed a big chunk of the second half of the season due to his real-life education. But if Marusic can keep up his improvements he's been showing for last season, he'll be able to be a consistent point scorer. Moving on to Haas F1 team. Samuel Brandt remains in the team. Brandt's Season 4 was a consistent showing of having terrible qualifying pace and blistering race pace. The Dane had some great showings, like for example at Mexico, but fell short of a podium finish due to his bad starting position. With Ferrari and Haas going into a technical alliance, Brandt can hope for some help from Sandro Doulis and Dion Stahl to improve his qualifying performance. If he does that, Brandt will be consistent. Will be a consistent top 7 driver that can track himself into a podium position every now and then. Joining him as his teammate, it's going to be Reese March. March joined SRL late last season as a reserve driver for Haas. He got the full-time seat for this season and has to prove that he deserves it. In the 5 races he started for Haas last season, he seemed to struggle a lot with consistency and overall pace, only scoring 12 points. As March has moved from pad to steering wheel for the new season and will be advantaged by the Ferrari-Haas alliance, we can expect a learning curve by March that can hopefully merge the Brit into a contender for points on a consistent basis. Next team, we're going to look at Renault Sport F1 team, which are starting the season with a completely new lineup. First of all, it's Colin Higgins. Higgins' second SRL season was throughout the most part disappointing. Accidents and inconsistencies saw him only scoring 21 points in 16 starts. The move from Tal Risto to Renault for Season 5 will hopefully open up a new chapter for Higgins and will bring consistency and some good points. Tim Ventic is going to be our first rookie. Tim Ventic is, with only 13 years of age, the youngest driver on the Season 5 grid. At the same time, he is the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, as he has proven himself in other leagues before and shows to have some big potential. We can expect some top 5 pace and a few podiums of the young Dutchman. Next team will be McLaren. McLaren is having a really interesting lineup with Cameron Weston-Edwards. Last season was a step down from Weston-Edwards' rookie season. He only scored 1 podium at Baku compared to 4 podiums in season 3. His points total was just slightly lower, but all in all, season 4 can be considered as a disappointment for the Brit. If he can come back to old form in Season 5, it's difficult to say, but he'll definitely be a consistent point scorer and a top 7 runner. His teammate will be René van der Stapp. Van der Stapp started off last season like he ended his previous one, by challenging for podiums on a weekly basis. He was a dark horse in the championship fight until late into the season, but he did not participate in 3 of the last 6 races, which hit him hard in the standings. With his consistency and solid pace, the Dutchman will be a top 5 runner and championship contender. Alfa Romeo is starting their first SRL League season with a full Portuguese lineup. First off, it's Jorge Carrera. Carrera's rookie season was nothing short of a disaster, to be honest. Despite the Portuguese showing solid top 10 pace, he failed to finish races. Consistent crashes and bad luck, and not always on his fault, of course, made him lead last season in DNFs, unfortunately. He only scored 43 points despite racing in 19 out of 21 races. But if Jorge Carrera can find some consistency and finish races more often, he'll be able to use his decent pace and score some good points. His teammate will be fellow countryman Ivan Brito. Ivan Brito makes the full Portuguese lineup at Alfa Romeo complete as he enters his sophomore season. Brito started his rookie season in a very messy manner, causing many incidents and crashes and getting blocked for the 5th round of the season at Abu Dhabi, actually. But after that, Ivan Brito came back strong, showing a steep learning curve in pace, fairness, and patience. What followed was the biggest transition of the season, with Brito getting better and better every race and emerging into a consistent point scorer. His season highlights were a front row start at Spain and his career best finish of P6 at Hungary. With more improvements to his driving style and new equipment, we could see Ivan Brito making another big jump. A solid P6 to P9 runner can be expected. Racing Point is starting their season with a full rookie lineup. First off, it's Robin Herstadhagen. Robin Herstadhagen will be a rookie for the season, and we don't actually really know where the Norwegian stands in terms of pace. He'll be joined with Brian Power, who will be his teammate. But just like his teammate, Brian Power will be a rookie for Season 5. And again, we are not sure of his pace, making Racing Point a team full of surprises. Moving on to Tal Risto. Tal Risto has a full new lineup for Season 5 with Jan Holm as the number 1 driver. Holm's Season 4 was nothing short of awful. The oldest driver on the SRL grid only managed to score 4 points, which is a massive downgrade from his 29 points in the previous season. Holm just lacked performance and ability to finish races. With 6 races left, Holm decided to end his season early and come back fresh for Season 5. We will see if that move will pay off. His teammate will be rookie Marcel Holler. Horler brings in some good league racing experience into his rookie season, as he was racing in the International Racing League F2 Championship last season. The Austrian showed decent pace there and is now looking to transfer their performance over to SRL. He can be expected to be a consistent top 10 runner. And the last team, last but not least, is going to be Williams, Rocket Williams Racing. First off, it's Louis Quinlan. Quinlan season 4 was basically a mess. He bounced around from team to team as a reserve and full-time driver. He mainly drove for McLaren, but moved to a reserve driver for Williams late in the season. He showed good pace towards the end of the season, but was often denied of a good finish due to mistakes. If he can keep up the upwards trend and minimize his mistakes, he can challenge for points. And his teammate is going to be Jackson Glenn Austin. Glenn Austin joins SRL with tons of experience in league racing in all kinds of motorsport categories. He previously raced in NASCAR, IndyCar, and F1 leagues. The young American seems to have some great potential and solid pace. Austin Glenn will definitely be looking to be a top 10 contender and can hopefully change the miserable history of American drivers in SRL. Next on, we will have a look at the Season 5 calendar. We will start off the season with the British Grand Prix on the 14th of September, so mark that in your calendar. You can have a look throughout the rest of the season, of course. It's a costume season, so not the real-life one. We will keep the season finale at Brazil, like last season. Brazil obviously put up a great show with the championship fight between Dick van Gelder and Francis McGinn last year. So yeah, this is our Season 5 calendar. The next, we're going to look at some rulebook changes. You can have a quick look at this. Disqualifications now get 3 penalty points. Fastest lap inside the top 10 now receives 1 point, just like Formula 1 in real life. So we added that to our point system. If a driver misses 5 races in a row without a good reason, they will be dropped to reserve driver. So in that way, we hopefully will see more drivers participating in races. And there are some more minor changes. You can have a look at it now. There are not such thing as reserve drivers for certain teams anymore. We'll just have a reserve driver, and then the reserve driver is allowed to choose their teams by themselves. So that's a small change in the reserve driver system. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Season will start off at the 7th of September with preseason testing. There's no official live stream for that, unfortunately, but you can check out the driver's POV. I guess there will be some drivers streaming it. But yeah, our official season is starting off on the 14th of September with the British Grand Prix, so make sure you'll tune in for the live stream on that date. I've been Sandro. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more SRL content. Check out our Instagram channel. Link is down below in the description. I've been Sandro, and I'll see you next time.